We are in grade 10 maths and we will be looking at equations. In grade 10, we are going to be looking at quadratic equations. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to solve quadratic equations using fractional method or factoring method. Okay, guys. let's look at this. Generally, quadratic equation looks like this. It's ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. All right. Now, this a is a factor. It's called the coefficient of x squared. B is also a constant, which is referred to as the coefficient of x. And c will also be a constant. Being constants means they will be specific numbers. All right. Okay, guys. So now we have to shift from this form into this one. The product of two brackets, and we will equate that to 0. Okay, that's where we are going to do when we use the factoring method. We factorize this expression here on the left hand side into these two brackets. Let's take, for instance, let's say you have x squared minus 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. Okay. What we have to do is to look at the factors of this minus 3, and we are going to take a pair whose sum is minus 2, this one. Okay, let's see what we mean. The factors of minus 3 could be minus 3 times 1 or 3 times minus 1. Okay, now when you look at this, you can see that minus 3 plus 1 is equal to minus 2, and then 3 plus minus 1 is equal to positive 2. It's equal to positive 2. Now, if that's what we have, we will select this one, because the sum of the factors of minus 3 in this one gives us the minus 2 here. Now, we are going to have to rewrite our equation as x squared minus 3x plus x, or plus 1x, then minus 3, that is going to give us 0. Okay, so we have replaced this middle term here with the factors of our c, which is negative 3. Now, what we can do is to factorize this. We can just start by saying, okay, I have x squared minus 3x. Let me put it in bracket and say plus x minus 3 is equal to 0. That's by grouping. We are using grouping method here. Now, let's look at the common factor here. It's x. So we are going to put x outside the bracket, and we will be left with x minus 3 inside the bracket. Our plus, the common factor between these two is 1. We put it outside, and inside the bracket we will be left with minus x. We will be left with x minus 3. Then that is 0. All right. Now, when we look at these two terms, this one and this one, we realize that there is a common factor and the common factor is the bracket. Let's factor the bracket out. X minus 3, we factor it out. Then here, when we factor out x minus 3, we'll be left with x. Here, when we factor out x minus 3, we are going to be left with 1, like that. This is equal to 0. Now, if this bracket by this bracket gives us 0, it means that either this one is 0 or this one is 0. So we are saying, therefore, x minus 3 is equal to 0, or x plus 1 is equal to 0. Why? Because if this is 0, 0 times this bracket will give us 0. If this one is 0, then this bracket by 0 will give us 0. That's what we need. So from here we have linear equations, whereby we can take this minus 3 onto this side by saying plus 3. Then what we do on the left, we will do on the right, plus 3. So this is going to give us 0. So we'll have x plus 0, which is x, is equal to 0 plus 3, which is 3. Or this side, we will say minus 1, minus 1. So this goes away as 0. So we'll have x is equal to minus 1. So that means these are the solutions of this equation. So when we solve x squared minus 2x minus 3 equals to 0, we will ultimately get x is equal to 3 or x is equal to minus 1. Okay, that's it, guys. That's how you do it. Let's look at another example. Let me say, I will take the same as this one. I'll just change the signs. Let's say we have x squared plus 2x. Let's say minus 3 is equal to 0. All right, what do? We are going to be looking at the factors of this minus 3, whose sum is positive 2. So factors of minus 3 would be minus 3 times 1 and 3 times minus 1. So when we add these factors, we will have minus 3 plus 2, no, plus 1, minus 3 plus 1, and that will give us minus 2. 3 plus minus 1 is going to give us 3 minus 1, which is 2, which is positive. Now, this positive 2 is the same as this one. So we will opt for this as the factors. Now, when we rewrite this in terms of these two factors, we are going to have x squared plus 3x minus 1x, then minus 3 is equal to 0, right? So what do we do next? What we will do next is to say, okay, we have, let me see, we can group this. When we group it, be careful. Once we open the bracket here and we have minus immediately before, then this side is going to be changed to positive. All right, so that when we say negative times positive, it gives us the negative here. All right, so then we factorize this bracket. There is a common factor here, which is x bracket x plus 3 bracket. Here the common factor is 1, we will say negative 1 bracket, then x plus 3 is equal to 0. So when you look at this term and this one, the common factor is the bracket x plus 3. We factor the bracket out, x plus 3, then bracket. Here, when we take out x plus 3, we are left with x. Here, when we take out x plus 3, we are left with minus 1. That will be equal to 0. Right? Now, here, the product of the two brackets is 0, so that means this bracket x plus 3 is 0, or this bracket x minus 1 is 0. So we have a linear equation here. We can say minus 3 minus 3. This goes away as 0. So we'll be left with x is equal to negative 3. Or we add 1 here and add it on the other side. So we'll have 0 here. Then x will be equal to positive 1. All right. So that's how we do it, guys. So that's how we basically solve the quadratic equation by factoring method. This brings us to the end of this lesson, guys. Please share the video, subscribe, like the video. Until we meet again in the next lesson.